The United States is about to face an economic crisis like never before, and the surprising source of this threat is none other than its closest neighbor, Canada. In a shocking power move, Canada has threatened to cut off America's electricity, oil, and even food supply in response to escalating trade wars. If tensions continue to rise, the U.S. could face blackouts, soaring gas prices, and empty grocery store shelves. Meanwhile, former Republican Congressman Adam Kinzinger has called Donald Trump a coward weaker than gummy bears in a microwave. How did we get here, and who will blink first in this high-stakes economic showdown? Canada isn't just America's friendly neighbor, it's the lifeline keeping U.S. cities powered and warm. Ontario, Canada's industrial heartland, just announced a 25% tax on electricity exports to the U.S., a direct warning shot to Washington. But electricity is just the beginning. Canada supplies 50% of America's crude oil imports, worth over $70 billion a year, and 9 billion cubic meters of liquefied natural gas, which keeps entire U.S. states warm during brutal winters. If Canada decides to shut off the taps, entire regions of the U.S. could face energy shortages overnight. Prime Minister Justin Trudeau has made it clear, we will not hesitate to shut off their power. The question is, does America have a backup plan? The fallout from this trade war goes far beyond energy. Canada is also America's biggest supplier of auto parts, with $30 billion in exports every year. After Trump imposed tariffs on Canadian cars, Canada retaliated by cutting tax incentives for U.S. electric vehicles, especially Tesla. The result? Car prices in the U.S. could skyrocket by $4,000 or more. But the pain doesn't stop there. Canada is also threatening tariffs on $6 billion worth of agricultural exports, including canola, meat, and dairy. If that happens, grocery prices in the U.S. could spike by 12%, hitting American families where it hurts most. The stock market is already feeling the shock, with the S&P 500 down 12% since the tariffs began. The IMF warns that if this continues, the U.S. economy could shrink by 2% by 2026. Canada is already moving on without the U.S. A $21 billion expansion of the Trans Mountain Pipeline will triple oil exports to Asia, reducing Canada's reliance on the American market. Meanwhile, Shell is investing $40 billion in a massive LNG project to supply China, Japan, and South Korea. And if that wasn't enough, Canada is signing new trade deals with the EU, including France and the UK. The U.S. tried to force Canada's hand by demanding it become the 51st state in exchange for lifting tariffs. Trudeau's response? Canada is not for sale. Now America is staring down a nightmare scenario: higher gas prices, crippling car shortages, and food inflation that could devastate family budgets. Meanwhile, Trump's leadership is being mocked by his own party, with critics calling him weak, unprepared, and even smelly. The question now is, who will blink first? Will the U.S. back down, or will this trade war spiral into an all-out economic disaster? One thing is certain: the days of America taking Canada for granted are over. What do you think? Will the US and Canada find a way to de-escalate, or is this the start of a new Cold War? Drop your thoughts in the comments, smash that like button, and subscribe for more breaking updates.